23. This is from the SAT number 17. This is the 2019 April QAS test. So question 23 says, which choice best supports the idea that the ability of a species to use camouflage effectively can provide an evolutionary advantage? So this type of question here is one that requires us basically to choose one of these lines that could answer or support a specific idea here. So pretty straightforward. One more time, let's make sure we understand what 23 is asking. It's saying we want to find a text that supports the idea that the ability of a species to use camouflage effectively can provide an evolutionary advantage. So basically find the sentence that says using camouflage is an evolutionary advantage. So let's start with lines 1 through 2. That's right here. That says, it is well known that some animal species use camouflage to hide from predators. So this is our first text. I don't think this is so great. We're looking again for a text that's going to tell us why using camouflage is an evolutionary advantage. So this is telling us that animal species use camouflage to hide from predators, and maybe from that fact we could say that's an evolutionary advantage, but it's really not too direct, so I'm going to keep looking for one that maybe is a little more direct in making that connection. So lines 2 through 7 is here. This says individuals that are able to blend into their surroundings and avoid being eaten are able to survive longer, reproduce, and thus increase their fitness, pass along their genes to the next generation, compared to those who stand out more. So this is a lot more specific, detailed, and elaborate in making the connection between camouflage and providing an evolutionary advantage than this one. All this one says is hide from predators, but this is explaining we can survive longer, reproduce, increase our fitness, etc. So this is a great answer choice. I would definitely keep this one, and I would eliminate A because in comparison to B, it's not as strong. C cites lines 7 through 9, which is right here. This says, this may seem like a good strategy and fairly common in the animal kingdom, but who ever heard of a plant doing the same thing? So all this is doing is sort of raising the question of, yes, this is a good strategy, and we know what happens with animals, but what about plants? So this sort of takes for granted the fact that camouflage provides an evolutionary advantage, but doesn't explicitly say it itself. Instead, what the focus of these lines is basically just to ask, do plants do the same thing as animals when it comes to camouflage? So I don't think it's a good answer choice either. Then we have D, which is lines 10 through 13. That's right here. This says, in plants, the use of coloration or pigmentation as a vital component of acquiring food, e.g. photosynthesis, or as a means of attracting pollinators has been well studied. All this sentence is really doing is telling us that plants using coloration to attract food, to acquire food and to attract pollinators, that's been well studied, and then it contrasts that with the study of camouflage. But what this sentence doesn't do is tell us the evolutionary advantage of camouflage. It only really talks about using color to attract pollinators. So I would get rid of D, and that's going to leave us with answer choice B, which is our correct answer for question 20.